Wow, who doesn't love a little bit of Pirates of the Caribbean to get started into a presentation? Thank you for everybody who has come to the launch of the White Whale Collective. I'm very excited to take you through what it is, why it means so much to me, and how we can create great graphic design for your marine business. If you have any questions throughout this presentation, please put them in the chat box and we can answer them at the end of the session. Okay, without further ado, I'd like to start off by saying, who the heck am I? I am Ben Williams. I'm the founder and creative director of White Whale Collective. Sorry, you might want to see my face. There it is. White Whale Collective. I have 22 years design experience. I may not look that old, but I started at a very young age. I have 8 years as a creative director, so working with large organizations like eBay. I have done a lot in terms of big brand campaigns and small campaigns for small to medium businesses and large corporates. I've been operating our parent company Nautical for 4 years. I'm 7 years a sailor, and I am 7 years loving the ocean. But before I get into the nitty gritty of what we are, I want to tell you a bit of a story on how I got to, or how the White Whale called me. I'm going to rewind back to 2013. So 2013, I moved to Sydney to work at eBay and fell in love with the harbour. So before that, I was actually a Gold Coast boy living in Burleigh Heads, and not once did I go to the beach or even look at the ocean. It was so close to where I lived. I completely took it for granted because I was a bit of a nerd and a troll, and I would sit inside all day and work away on websites and graphic design because I was just so in love with graphic design. That's all I ever did, and I just never saw the sunlight at all. So when I moved to Sydney, I was on the Manly Ferry, and it was just something about Sydney Harbour. I just wanted to get on it and had to get on it. So it was only a couple of weeks after having this realization, did we go and find a small little yacht, a little sailboat on eBay for auction, not knowing how to sail or anything about boats. We went and had a look at it from the land and kind of went, yeah, it's floating. This could be a good purchase. And so we went onto auction that night and we bought our first boat called Dolphin for, I think it was about $3,000. And it ended up being a really great buy and the start of an absolute passion for sailing. Every weekend, me and my partner were out sailing. You couldn't get us off the water. That's all we ever spoke about. I'm sure our family and friends were kind of annoyed that that's all we ever did and all we ever wanted to speak about. And it's still a passion of ours today. So fast forwarding to 2019. So basically all of my eBay career, I spent 6 years there, starting off as a designer, making my way up to creative director, where I got to work on like sort of small campaigns to large campaigns, whether it was a TVC out of home campaign, or just some banners or advertising. So in 2019, I sort of hit the ceiling there in terms of creative development and wanted to stretch my wings and leave the safety of corporate harbour. So I launched 55 Knots, which is an on-demand graphic design service for marketing teams and small business owners. So when I left in 2019, it was more of a traditional agency. So we had some large clients that we got through my contacts at eBay. And by the end of 2019, I kind of realized I was being held ransom by a couple of large clients in terms of big retainers that we had secured. And I kind of knew from past experience with design agencies at eBay that it doesn't take much for a client to leave or two clients to leave and your whole business can go under. So I thought at the end of 2020, how can I pivot? And I started to pivot before pivoting was a thing, or before it was cool, to kind of figure out how could I make a design service that's more secure, financially secure. So I thought, what if we get a lot of little tiny subscriptions, and that's a way that business can keep on going, and I can sleep at night. So 55 Knots currently has 42 of these clients on subscription, and it's still growing today. But then, so 3 years later, so not 3 years later, sorry, 3 months after we pivoted, COVID did happen, which we all know what that meant for the economy. So all of our large clients that we did happen to have sort of fizzled up. Most of them were in tourism. So it did mean we went from like a quite a healthy little budget down to not so much in March. And I spent all of 2020 rebuilding the business, over again from scratch. It was very hard. We had to rebuild the entire team. But by the end of the year, we did manage to hit our numbers at around December, January, made it back into profit, and we have a team of 18 all up. So it was a hard year, and it definitely left me feeling exhausted and burnt out. So in February, the end of January, start of February, there was a Byron Bay business retreat booked with 17 other business owners and I, where we're kind of going away to kind of re-energize ourselves and get back to business. So this is when it kind of led me to the retreat. So before the retreat started, we were given a brief, and the brief was we had to bring one business problem to the table. One business problem to the table that we kind of wanted to group with the rest of the other business owners. And this could be basically anything. So it wasn't for the other business owners to give you advice, but it was for them to kind of guide you and help you kind of come to Jesus moment, or your own epiphany. So when I got to the retreat, I had a very superficial problem, and that was, should I hire another person internally? And to be honest, that was kind of a boring problem to solve, and I kind of already knew the answer. I just wanted validation. So after hearing a couple of other people go before me, because I kind of learned that my business problem wasn't that profound, and I started to think on it some more. So during this retreat, we had some really inspirational speakers come to talk to us about their businesses, how they found their passion and what they're doing in life. But the one that spoke to me the most was Craig Parry. He's a National Geographic photographer based out of Byron Bay. He is very famous for his photo of Migaloo and other sea creatures. He is a very cool guy. We share very similar personality traits, and he really spoke to me. It was just so nice to see him presenting his photography. Still had like this imposter syndrome, even though he was a Nat Geo, a wildlife photographer, and an award winner. It still had those same sort of doubts about his skills, and also just the way he spoke and lit up when you could see him out on the ocean off Byron Bay, just taking a photo of a whale. It was just so inspiring to me. And I'm like, started to make me think, what was my why? And if I was actually living my why, or was I just chasing some dollar bills? And on the second night, we had a lady come who had started an Aboriginal sort of organization where she only works, or everybody that works for her is kind of Aboriginal. So like me, she is kind of not your obvious Aboriginal to look at, but she did have the heritage, and she was using her heritage to kind of guide her intuitively in all of the business decisions that she made, and everything she spoke about her land. It kind of really spoke to me, because I'm part Aboriginal, and I come from my tribes in East Gippsland in Victoria, so it's kind of like a seaside tribe. It's something I kind of grew up with my family, but kind of lost as an adult. So I was really starting to think about my Aboriginal heritage and how I could bring that into in what I was doing in everyday life. So this kind of led me on the second day to kind of went, my business problem was a bit weak, and I kind of was feeling like I had lost my why. Why did I go into business in the first place? I feel like the writing was on the wall with everything I was doing. So all of these things were calling to me, like something was calling to me, like, a majestic whale song. And so it got me thinking about the things that I really love and enjoy. So I love design, I love creativity, I love photography. So how could I combine that with my passion for marine businesses, like tourism, marinas, yacht, ocean conservation? How can I combine the two together? And thirdly, like, I've always had this desire to give back in some way to ocean conservation. So I was kind of thinking, how can I just combine all these three things? And this is sort of what led me to rush home and come up with what you see today, which is the White Whale Collective. Now, a little bit of background on the name. So Migaloo is actually what white whale is inspired by. So Migaloo is actually the Aboriginal word for white fella, which is what the Aboriginal elders in Hervey Bay gave this name to the albino white whale that swims up and down the southeast coast of Australia. Migaloo, unfortunately, is sometimes in Aboriginal culture also referred, can also be a derogatory term towards white people. So Migaloo was currently off the table as a business name. So I landed on white whale. And then everybody I worked with, I wanted them to have the same passion for the ocean that I do. So collectively, we were ocean lovers. So that's how White Whale Collective, the name was kind of formed in my brain anyway, and that's what we have here today. I've since learned that you should have a business name that's 3 syllables or people will shorten it. Anyway, so it might just be White Whale to everybody else. So what exactly is White Whale Collective? I almost said creative then. I will let our explainer animation do the heavy lifting on this one. So sit back and enjoy.
Hi, we're White Whale Collective, an on-demand graphic design service for marine businesses. As water people at heart, we pride ourselves on helping like-minded brands get noticed with agency quality design without the agency price tag. Whether you need branding, a landing page, or captivating motion graphics, our team of skilled designers are on deck and ready to go. To begin, choose your plan. Then you get immediate access to a 100% 7-day free trial on us. You'll submit your creative brief using our online portal and get your design back in as little as 2 days. And because the sea calls to us like a majestic whale song, we also donate a portion of our profits to ocean conservation efforts. We're ocean lovers, and if you are too, work with us to boost your business and help preserve our oceans at the same time. White Whale Collective. It's on-demand graphic design for ocean-loving businesses. Head to www.whitewhale.cc.
Cool. So I hope that explains what we do a little bit more. If not, let me know in the chat box, and I can try and answer any questions you might have. But more importantly than what we can do for you, I want to move on to how we're going to give back. So by designing with White Whale Collective, you can boost your business, and you can also preserve our oceans at the same time. And how we're going to do this is, first of all, we'll be donating a percentage of our end of year profits back to ocean conservation efforts. We currently haven't decided which ones these are going to be, but we do have some finalists in mind on what organizations these will be. Secondly, we'll be donating our services to 3 ocean conservation organizations per year, whether they are not for profit or they are for profit, but they just need a helping hand to kind of get the word out there about the great work that they are doing. And third of all, this is a phase 2 plan, we'll be opening an ocean shop. So in the shop, you'll be able to buy ocean prints and ocean safe swag. So what I mean by that is everything that's in the shop will be either organic or none of the byproducts of it will end up back in the ocean and harm the animals in there. And with the proceeds to this, we're going to be giving those back to ocean conservation. So that's phase 2. I'm excited about that. But first, we are more focused on how we can give back more directly to ocean conservation through money and through donations of time. So what design services do we cover? Digital design, so that's basically anything that you can think of on the World Wide Web. We can help you design. Print design, whether it's brochures, flyers, business cards, out of home, billboards, we can help you with that. Social adverts, so TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat, LinkedIn, whatever you need, and the social realm, as well as advertising. The team are great and can help you out with those. Logos and branding, goes without saying. Motion graphics, so that is anything from video editing, animations like the one you just saw, or even just like 2 to 3 second GIFs, or even like the cute little animations you see on websites. And then lastly is website design. So we have some off-the-shelf packages to help you get online fast. As this is our launch event, we do have a launch event offer. So basically what we're looking for are some founding members. And these might be you or someone you know, and I love an introduction. So we're looking for people who are either in the ocean loving tourism space, whether marinas, shipwrights, boating, just basically anything you can think of, a business that works or operates on the ocean, small or large, we want to hear from them. We currently have a founding member offer, which is 25% off their first 3 months at the White Whale Collective. They'll get a complimentary branding session with myself, which is worth $1,000. So this is where I sit with you and I kind of talk through your brand or your customer demographics and try and work on a strategy to get the most out of your branding. And if it's a new business, a logo included, or if it's an existing business, it might also be a brand refresh. And then lastly, all of our founding members will get listed on our homepage and our social channels as a founding member of the White Whale Collective for at least a year. So that's kind of what we're looking for. So if you know anybody in the space, please get in touch with myself, Benjamin at White Whale Collective. That is not my email address, sorry, benjamin@whitewhale.cc. And I'd be happy to have a chat. So if there are any questions, I am available now to answer them. I will just stop sharing my screen because I can't hear unless that's the case. Okay, so we do have a question here from Anna. How long does it take to sign up for a free trial? So our free trial takes only minutes. So if you go onto our website, you can sign up for a 7-day free trial and put in a design brief within minutes. No worries, Anna. Any other questions? Nope. All right, so, what's my favorite beach in Sydney? Oh, that's a tough one. I quite like Milk Beach, Maroubra Beach. I'm not a big fan of Bondi, sorry. All right, awesome. So there is no other questions. Please, if you do think of any after this, please send me an email to benjamin@whitewhale.cc at any time. I'm happy to answer them. If you know anybody who might be great as a founding member, please send them my way. I'd love to have a chat. Thanks for coming. This will be available on replay on our Facebook later. Thanks, guys.